Hey guys, Matex here with the Zowie ZA12. I currently want to just talk a little bit about this mouse before we get into a full kind of test and explanation of what I think about this mouse. This mouse goes for, I think, around $65 on the BenQ Direct site. I was happy with the price I paid for what the mouse offers. This mouse is a very well built mouse. The plastic is very durable, which is a big plus on my part. And the switches for the mouse are very accurate, and they're just stiff enough that you won't be doing misclicks. We're going to be playing Counter-Strike on the hard pad setting here to start off the review of the video, and just let you guys watch what you think of the hard pad setting here. I'm going to set this hard pad setting right now. We're now on the hard pad setting, and I can feel it on my desktop that it's not tracking as well on the cloth pad as it is on the hard pad. So I'm just going to minimize this real quick, and we're going to get into a game of Counter-Strike here. We're just going to go to a random deathmatch server here. Again, this is on the hard pad liftoff distance setting, and I'm currently playing on a hard pad. So far, the mouse feels pretty good on the hard pad with the hard pad setting. I haven't noticed any inaccuracies with the sensor on this mouse on the setting with the hard pad. It all feels like just self-mistakes aiming when I'm missing a shot right now. Again, I'm just wiggling back and forth to see if I notice any inaccuracies with this mouse, and so far, it's feeling pretty nice. We're shortly going to go over to the cloth pad setting here for the mouse to see if I notice any inaccuracies with the sensor on the cloth pad with the cloth pad sensor, or setting, I'm sorry. Spraying feels pretty good on this setting. Can't really complain about the spraying and how it tracks on a hard pad. Two more kills and then we'll go over to the cloth pad setting with a cloth pad. Alright, we're going to go over to the cloth pad now. Alright, we're now on the cloth pad liftoff distance on a cloth pad, and we're going to see how that feels. So far, it feels a lot easier on this setting to do a 180. It almost feels like the tracking is a bit faster. The DPI hasn't changed, the window sense hasn't changed. But it definitely feels like it's a bit faster on the cloth with the cloth pad setting. And that could be because of the surface I'm using as well, because it could still be tracking on this cloth pad when I'm turning the mouse. So let's just do some spraying and tapping with this mouse. There's one thing I want to test here. I'm going to test the full spraying of this mouse on a cloth pad. Because I noticed when I was playing with it, it felt like there was more, it was more difficult to pull down on the cloth setting. And most likely that's also because of preference, because I'm normally used to playing on a hard pad, which would make my sprays feel a little bit more difficult to pull down when I'm on a hard pad because there's more friction. But I'm going to try it here. And you guys can kind of be the judge of it. Again, that was a user error in the spray, not a mouse sensor error in the spray. That was just a bad spray. The spraying, it feels good with this mouse, but again, my wrist does have to do a little more work to follow through with the spray for it to be accurate. And that's, like I said, that's most likely because I am used to a hard pad. So my hand or wrist is not used to pulling down on a spray with a bit more friction. We're going to get 2 more kills, and then we're going to conclude the testing part of this review, because I'm pretty sure you guys kind of see it's a pretty good and accurate mouse here. The bullets are going here where I aim, so we need to just Zeus somebody, and then we'll go out and kind of discuss more about what I think. Okay. Alright, so my thoughts on this mouse, like I touched upon in the beginning of this video, it's built very well. That's a plus. That's a pro for me. The switches are stiff, which is a pro and con for me. It's a pro because you're not going to have misclicks and they're going to be accurate. The con for me are how stiff they are with mouse 1 and mouse 2. It's a good thing and a bad thing. You're not going to probably ever find yourself misclicking a scope or accidentally firing with this mouse, because a lot of times if you're lurking on a site and you don't want to be heard or spotted until your team takes contact on a different site, you don't want to be heard at all. I've had in the past with different mice, myself accidentally click the mouse 1 and that gives away my position because it fires a bullet. That's not happening with this mouse. I could probably guarantee you that. That's the pro about it. But the con is they're a bit too stiff. And by too stiff, I mean if you're using something like the Tech 9 where you want to probably shoot your first like 4 bullets, slow and accurate, and then kind of when you're running gunning, kind of spray, shoot relatively faster, that becomes an issue because your finger actually gets a bit tired and it's harder to click than a normal mouse to fire that fast. But you really wouldn't come across that being an issue unless you're using like a Tech 9 or a pair of dualies. Maybe the Glock. I don't shoot my Glock fast, but that's the con that I see with these switches being this stiff. The mouse 4 and mouse 5 switches, that's good to be stiff because I don't know, some people have their mic for TeamSpeak and Ventrilo or Mumble bound to these. I don't do that. I use my keyboard for that, but I do have my Cyclonades and Bomb pull out implant on my side mouse button. The scroll button, again, it's very good because it's stiff, but it's not stiff enough that you're gonna miss a jump if you have your mouse bound to jump at mouse or scroll down. You're not gonna accidentally switch to the next weapon if you have switch weapons bound to this mouse. Scroll up and down. The thing I noticed with the EC1 and EC2A are the scroll wheels on both those mice are too stiff. By too stiff, I mean when I'm trying to make a corner jump. So when you make a corner jump, you kind of strafe your mouse back and forth while you jump. It's more difficult in those two mice because it's stiffer. So when you're trying to make the jump and move your mouse, it's a little bit more difficult. You have to get used to it. This is just it's just stiff enough that you can make the jump and it not really affect you. So that's a pro as well for this mouse. What else? It's like I said, it's a great built mouse. It's got an extra pair of mouse feet with the mouse on the purchase, which to me is a good thing. It's more of a convenience thing because you can always buy these. They're like $10 or $15. You can get them probably from BenQ's site directly or Amazon. It's one of those sites. Any other mouse I've purchased, SteelSeries, Logitech, Final Mouse. Did the Final Mouse have an extra pair? I don't believe it did. I could be wrong on that, but I'm sure that the SteelSeries and Logitech mouse didn't have extra mouse gates. Again, it's more of a convenience thing because if your mouse gates are worn down, you don't have to put an order in and wait. You can just hit it with the hairdryer to warm the mouse gates up or mouse feet up, peel them off, alcohol pad them, dry them off, put the mouse feet back on, hit it with the dryer, and you're done within 5 minutes. That's a pro for me. If I'm paying $65 for a mouse, throw an extra pair of mouse gates or feet in. Come on, factory. And the other con for me is I don't like the fact that this has mouse buttons on the left and right side, but this is a mouse for left or right-handed gamers. This is a very good mouse for left-handed gamers. There's not many good mice out there for left-handed gamers. This is one of them. The FK1 or FK2 is one of them as well. This mouse, I would have to say, is not for larger hands. I have larger hands, and to me it gets somewhat uncomfortable, or I get a little bit inaccurate with it because I have to cramp the mouse so much. That's not saying it's a bad mouse, it's just not a great mouse for larger handed gamers. This mouse preferably is probably for a medium-sized to smaller-sized hand gamers, and you guys would probably be fine with it. I use the EC1A as my main mouse. That mouse is a larger mouse. It feels better on my hands. I also use the EC2A. That's smaller than the EC1A, but still larger than this mouse here. So again, this mouse I would recommend for a medium hand to smaller hand sized gamer. If you guys have any questions about this mouse, let me know. This is the first mouse review that I'm doing, so I could be missing something very important, about the mouse. So just shoot a comment on there and just let me know. I can my next mouse review that I do, I can touch upon that with the mouse, or I can do another one about this mouse with the particular questions asked. If you guys like the video, make sure you like and subscribe. Share it if you'd like, because I enjoy getting the little notification on my phone saying somebody subscribed or commented or liked a video. Makes me feel like doing these videos are worth doing. If you guys have some time, you're always welcome to stop by the stream, twitch.tv/Matex. I stream 8 p.m. Eastern to 12 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your feedback. I'm open to criticism. Have a good night.